welcome back to my channel for another episode of my Christmas cookie series. This recipe comes from my grandma and I hope you guys all like it. I know I will because cherries are my favorite. These cookies are called cherry winks and they sound amazing, really sweet. There's nuts, there's fruit, there's everything in there. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. The first thing we need to do is sift together our dry ingredients, and I have everything measured out, as you can see all over my counter. That takes the most time, is all the prep, so I like to cut that out, so we just get right into it. We've got 2 1/4 cups of flour, and we put that in a sifter over a bowl, obviously. Then we add in a half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And then we just have to mix that together through the sifter so that everything's well combined. So we're gonna set the dry ingredients aside and then we're gonna work with our wet ingredients over here in the mixer. So we need 3/4 cup of shortening. I was gonna use butter, but I decided to just go get shortening since the recipe asks for it. Let's just do it the right way this time and not cut corners, because we all know that I like to do that. 1 cup of sugar, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of milk. I'm just using 2% because it doesn't specify and that's what I have, so we're using that. 1 full tablespoon of vanilla, which gets me excited. You know I like my vanilla. Then we need to mix all of the wet ingredients together till they're combined, and I'm gonna use my paddle attachment with the little scraper on it. Make my life easy. Now that we have all of the wet ingredients mixed together, we need to add in the dry ingredients, and I'm going to use my little chute for that. I'm just going to add in a little bit at a time like I normally do, and then I'm going to mix it in on the lowest setting, which is called stir. And now comes the fun part. We need to manually stir in all of these wonderful things. So these are the things that make it chunky and hearty and like a good cookie. I'm just gonna scrape off my paddle attachment to get everything into the bowl, and then we will do the rest by hand. This cookie dough smells freaking amazing. All right, so we need to mix in all 3 of these, and we've got 1 cup of pecans, whatever you say, chopped up. So they're not whole pecans, they're like the little, these I had to chop by hand. So we've got 1 cup of dates chopped, and then we have a 1/3 cup of cherries, which I also chopped by hand. That's what took the most time with the whole preparation process. So I'm just gonna stir those in with a wooden spoon until everything is well combined. So I remember as a kid, like I swear parents make the kids do all the things that they don't want to do when they're baking together, and I always got stuck with stirring, and I had the weakest little baby arms and could not stir very quickly or very effectively. I don't know why my mom always had me stirring. I'm assuming it's just because she didn't want to do it herself. All right, that is all combined. Okay, and then at this point you can go ahead and preheat your oven to 375 degrees and get your baking sheets out ready to go. So we have our dough, and then we need another ingredient, which is crushed up cornflakes, and I just pulverize them basically in a food processor, so they're pretty fine for me. But if you like put them in a Ziploc bag and like roll a rolling pin over it, that's probably fine enough. Just get a little coarser creme, and then I'm going to use a regular teaspoon and form these into balls and then roll them in the cornflake. I don't know how big they're supposed to be. It just says roll into balls, so hopefully this is right. I have a feeling that I've made these way too big, so I think for the second sheet I'm going to try to make them a little smaller and see which one comes out better, and we'll learn like usual. Now that we have all of those rolled into balls and rolled in the cornflakes, we need to top them with a 1/4 piece of a cherry, but I'm going to do a 1/2 piece of cherry because I really like cherry. So we're just going to put that on top of all the cookies. I do think that these are going to spread out a little bit because of the shortening, so I'm not going to push them down too firmly. I'm just going to barely press the cherry into them. Wow, I have the exact number of cherries, but I still have a lot of dough left, so good thing I bought 2 jars. My oven is preheated, so I'm going to pop these in at the 375 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. So I usually do the lower end, so we're going to start with 10 and go from there. These are the smaller ones. These are the bigger ones. Sorry, started making my work lunches. But these are what the cookies turned out to be. I think they look delicious. These ones look pretty puffy. Like they might not be cooked all the way. They might be a little bit chewy. These ones look like the edges are pretty brown. So yeah, I don't really know what to do about size. Probably somewhere in the middle would have been good. But yeah, they look really cute and kind of Christmassy because they have like the red and the yellow, and I like them. I hope you enjoyed watching me make these cherry wheat, and I hope to see you next week when I do my last Christmas cookie series video. So make sure you tune in for that one. It's gonna be a good one. And don't forget, if you haven't already, you can subscribe to watch more of my videos. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye bye. These are good. The small one is baked all the way through. I feel like it's a little bit over baked like I thought. I'm gonna try a big one too. The big ones are better. Definitely soft and chewy in the middle. They're crunchy on the outside because of the cornflakes. Not a ton of chunks in it like I was thinking, but just the right amount. I love pecans. I love cherries. Dates are okay, but I know they sweeten things up a bit. And with the cornflakes, I feel like it needs the dates too. I think it's a winner. You should go make these because they're good.